Well, hello there. This is your girl Amma. I'm next to some of you. Amma, Emdee. Tiamiyu. Emdee Tiamiyu. Okay, fine. I'm here. Mm-hmm. As the Nigerians will say about Emdee Tiamiyu. Emdee Tiamiyu granted an interview to BBC. Emdee Tiamiyu says Nigerians are coming for this. Emdee says, and Emdee is why immigration have changed their policy. Okay, let's talk. So, can I just say, until this whole thing hits, I had never come across a single video of Emdee Tiamiyu. I like to make these declarations open from the beginning because I don't like to pretend I am an expert on things that I'm not an expert on. I had never seen Emdee Tiamiyu. I was not even aware of its existence. I know there's a lot of Japa content creators now, and because there is an appetite for Japa, Japa is a good topic to discuss if you want your platform to grow. There are about 4 or 5 topics that you need to discuss these days, and your channel will blow. Boom! Some of you have even been advising me, I'ma talk Japa, talk Japa. It will help the channel to grow. I get it. There are many reasons why I am coy with the Japa stories because I myself have my own content that I want to discuss. It's not just about shooting the channel out, but let's stick to the things that I know so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I've already told you. I am not a custodian of original information. I'm only working with secondary information. I did a search, and this is what I have so far. What I have so far is that Emdee Tiamiyu, YouTube says he joined YouTube in 2011. That I saw on YouTube myself because I went to check. Okay. So the platform, he's been on YouTube since 2011. This particular channel, I couldn't find how long this channel, Emdee Tiamiyu itself, but the persona has been there since 2011. Okay. I've seen pictures and stuff on Facebook that says that Emdee Tiamiyu came to the United Kingdom September 2022, which will make it 9 months ago. And he is studying in the UK. Okay. I've seen Emdee going to Frankfurt. I've seen some videos of him traveling around the continent, European continent, and watching a few of these actually also lead me personally to think that he hasn't been around for that long, actually. Okay. Can I also make the disclaimers from the beginning? This is my opinion. You can agree or disagree with my opinion. Please feel free to go to your own platform and discuss your own opinion too. Facebook still allows you to do that. If you choose to have that discussion on my channel and you want to write in the comment section, you are very, very welcome to do so. Remembering that you are an adult and you are responsible for your utterances. Okay? You better watch how you speak because how you speak will engage other people who will respond to you adequately. And no, I don't have time to police you. You start insulting people, they insult you back. I will leave you to it. All right? Okay. I looked at the video. I wanted to come to an understanding of the profile of Emdee Tiamiyu. And yes, I've seen people say he was a Nigerian policeman before he came across. These are my personal perceptions of the few videos that I've managed to watch. It sounds to me that Emdee is quite new. When you first travel out of your country, there is a euphoria to it. Everything is new, everything is exciting. And in fact, you come with rose tinted glasses. Everything is rosy, everything is beautiful in this new place you go to. You have instantaneous allegiances to some of these places because you think that they also have allegiances to you. I can see why the BBC would have specifically targeted somebody who's new. They may have invited many people, but those who are seasoned and understand the BBC, those who know that the BBC will edit not favorably to you, those who know that if you are not careful with the BBC, they will edit and make you look a particular way and you are powerless once you've granted the interview, will not. I will never grant an interview to the BBC unless I've got sureties and guarantees in place because I do know this. Somebody who doesn't know this will probably easily be swayed and they will be flattered that the BBC wants to interview them. They will look at the prospect of going on the BBC and how that will catapult them into the public domain and how their YouTube channel could exponentially grow as a result. And you may not look at the political side of it because you may have no experience of dealing with organizations that big and realizing how powerless you as an individual are. So I've seen a subsequent interview that MD granted saying that the footage was edited in ways that were not in his favor. And I'm inclined to believe that. I am very inclined to believe that. I have no problems believing the BBC will edit this to suit whatever their agenda was in inviting. I mean, what was the agenda in the first place? In asking Nigerian YouTubers to come talk about immigration of Nigerian students. I mean, he's not the dean of students. He is not an immigration lawyer. He is a YouTuber who discusses Japa. So why is it that the BBC wanted to find a YouTuber who discusses Japa to come and talk about the intentions of Nigerian students, foreign students? They want to find a headline. They want somebody who would say something. And I'm very sure some of the bigger seasoned ones would have been invited and their polite response would have been, no, thank you, see you later, adios, baby. This one, in youthful exuberance, in newcomer excitement, in not really understanding the agenda that can be behind some of these things, would have been lured to go in there. I've heard a few of his interviews where at first he was apologizing, and then people had given him the confidence to also not apologize and so on. I've seen people tell him, let's actually stick to the facts. Emdee Tiamiyu is not why the law is changing in the United Kingdom. Nigel Farage and a few people have been talking about this thing for a long time. I mean, it's been a running joke how many dependents one Nigerian student brings with them. It's been in the system for a long time. People have discussed it for a long time. It is something people have wanted to curb for a long, long, long time. All right? So it's not Emdee Tiamiyu who is changing the law. Emdee Tiamiyu is just a naive boy who has accidentally made himself the face of this protest, so that all of you now have a brother of yours to attack instead of discussing the underlying factor. In fact, at the moment, the UK does not want you to bring your dependents. You have a choice. Why come? If people were to boycott UK institutions for 2 years, if Nigerians and other Africans boycotted the UK institutions for 2 years, I guarantee you they will invite you to bring your goat and your cat, because the money that these foreign students pay to these universities is also a very needed stream of income that the universities do not want to forfeit, and the economy generally would not want to forfeit. We have to talk about these things. We have to understand. So, my Japa people, you want to Japa, Canada is still there. Japa to Canada. They will still let you bring your cat and dog in Canada. Go. UK is not the only place to go. America has not stopped you from bringing your family members. Well, go to America. The country which does not want you to bring your family members, which makes the whole route unsuitable to you, is a country which should experience a boycott. This is what you should be discussing. This is what we should be discussing. Rather than sit here and cry and crucify one brother of ours, it is their country. The United Kingdom has the right to decide who they will permit to bring and who they will permit not to bring. It is your money, because in the end, you pay for the money when you come to these institutions. But you need to sit down very carefully at some point and decide this no longer works for me. As I said, if they see a drastic reduction in the number of international students enrolling, and I've seen them do some of these things to some groups who have reacted this way, and the decision is very quickly rescinded because the universities want the money. They do. I've seen people treat this as if these international students who come to the UK are somehow beggars. MD himself was like, these people want to come and live in the UK. What's wrong with them wanting to come and live in the UK? I'm here. I'm here as a British expat. There are many British expats here of many jurisdictions. Some of them very blue-eyed and green-eyed and here. They came from the UK. They realized that the UK was not quite working for them. And so they've come here. They are at liberty to go. Yes, to come here. One of the things you need is a job so that you are sponsored by a job. A lot of us came here through jobs. Do you think we all want to work? I don't want to work. I'd happily be a housewife. If this country would let me come and sit here and be a housewife, I'd have come to sit to be a housewife. But no, it was not possible for me to come to sit and be a housewife. I needed a reason why I was coming. And so I found a reason why I was coming to come and work. I found a job and they got me here. And here I am sitting here slaving as usual. But no, the job is my route in. I wanted to come live in this region. I wanted to enjoy what is in this region. And the one thing which will legally, legitimately allow me to come and live and enjoy what I wanted to enjoy was work. How is that any different from a student who wants to come to the United Kingdom through a master's degree program? Yes, they do want to come to the United Kingdom. They probably would not have wanted to do a degree. Like I probably would not have wanted to work. They probably would not have wanted to do a degree. But the system is such that you need a degree to facilitate your entry. So they pay the school fees. They come and legitimately study and get the qualifications. And then they are needed by the economy. They made themselves necessary to the economy. So now they are necessary to the economy. There are jobs available for them to find. They get a job. They have the residence. Who have they offended? Hmm? What is their crime? They probably didn't need a degree. Yes, they probably didn't need a degree. But they realized it was a necessary means to an end. And no, they are not coming here as a necessary means to an end because they are beggars. They are here because they want to live here. They are here because they are needed and wanted. And so, if a person needs to be here and wants to be here, and you also need their services and the agenda coincides, what exactly are we complaining about? It annoys me how some of these things are flipped as if these are paupers. If a person can pay 15, 29,000 United Chockable pounds a year for their school fees wherever they want. And yes, when they pay that school fees, it's accepted and it goes into the economy, it goes into the universities. It definitely does a world of good. You know, it's money the universities cannot afford not to have. There are a lot of universities who aggressively recruit from these places because they need the money. Let's not make this sound as if this is a place where universities are not supposed to pay their students. To pay the money. Often the student can only work for 20 hours. You will not be able to raise 29,000 a year working menial jobs and doing 20 hours. No. So normally the spouses come with them and the job of the spouse is to work. That's why they bring their spouses. The spouses work to raise the money which is used to pay the fees. Who have they offended? Where's the crime? Show me the crime. If I get to go to a place to go study with my husband, and I'm studying and my husband is working to pay my school fees, where do you think the money was going to come from? Is that not what some of the natives do? My son is going to university. I'm working to fund him. And if we went to a place where it was easier for me to go stay where he was so I could work in that economy and make the money and pay for his school fees, where is the crime? If I went with him as his dependent to go and be his cash cow and work, because that's what a lot of these spouses are, cash cows. They come, they work, they make the money, and all the money is actually paid straight to the university. Most of these people, whilst they are doing their master's or doctorate degrees, live like paupers because every dime they make is taken. So if they are willing to do it, and if the system is willing to take it, who is complaining and why? There's a lot of things that we need to separate because I think the BBC and those who are covering these stories are always, as usual, trying to exploit the emotions of the British public. That's why this video was put out. The Nigerians are here with all their dependents. They are taking control of the economy. Oh, the locals don't have any work to do. How many of the locals have master's degrees and have doctorate degrees and can compete with these people in the economy? Let's just tell the truth as it is. Whose job have they taken? And I used to have this conversation with people. All these bloody immigrants taking our jobs. I'm like, what job? The bloody immigrant is a consultant physician. You are uneducated. You don't even have a secondary school leaver certificate. Which job of yours did this migrant take? Because remember, the UK has for quite a long time only allowed skilled people to remain skilled. If you make it through the UKBA, I don't even know what the name is at the moment. I think it probably is still the UKBA. If you still make it through the UKBA stringent procedures, and you are able to go through and become a resident and stay in that place. To be honest, I have every faith in the British system, and I have every faith in believing that those who are able to make it a stringent system are ones that deserve to do that. I have every faith. I think any British person who wants also to be logical can come to the same conclusion. The problem is the manipulation of the emotions of the masses by publications like this, as usual. I saw Mr. Farage jump straight on it. Every Nigerian comes with another Nigerian. Who do you want them to come with? Ethiopians? Huh? If a Nigerian is coming to be a master's student, he needs a social support system quite outside the people who will work and fund his education. There's also a social network to it. As a family woman, if I was going somewhere, I live here with my family. When I got the job and I was coming, I brought my entire family. I didn't bring one British with me. I brought three other British. It was one British for three. Have you heard the United Arab Emirates complaining? No. They are a little bit more realistic in understanding what it takes to get what they need. They need me to come and work here with my British qualifications. In order for me to come and live and work here, I'm not living here alone with my husband and my children somewhere else. No. I came and I brought my entire flock with me, three other Brits to come and live with me. That's what it would take for me to stay in this economy, to work in this economy, and to contribute to their educational sector, which they are hoping to improve. What they want is my skills, expertise, and services. What I want is their location, their amenities, and the lifestyle. Well, the agenda coincides. I'm here fulfilling what they want. They fulfill what I want. Who is complaining and why? Is it that only in some countries people will turn around and complain as if it is a charitable event? It is not a charitable event. Most of these students are not even on scholarship. Most of the people who come on these things pay physical cash, tangible cash, that the average British person might not be able to give directly. British students who come to British universities often come on student loans and all sorts of other things that the international students don't get. The international students are the ones who pay the physical cash. The international students sacrifice quite a lot to be able to do that. And for Emdee to say that they use it as a route, well, everybody does. When I want to get to a place, I need a means to an end. So I find one. And if there is a legal means to an end, why not? Why are people making it sound as if coming to come and study in another country and actually being willing to stay there is a problem? People have migrated freely for a long time. People migrate out of the UK all the time. There are so many British expats worldwide. There are so many British expats living in Nigeria, enjoying the perks of Nigeria. I haven't heard Nigerians crying about how many British expats have come to Nigeria and have brought their British children with them and are staying and enjoying Nigerian hospitality. I've never heard it before. So it baffles me that when the rhetoric flips, but that's the British press and their manipulation agenda to the population in the end. This is why Brexit actually managed to find some support, as ridiculous as it is. This is how they managed to get the general population to agree to Brexit and to vote for Brexit. And now all of our faces are like this. Now that Brexit has actually happened, I speak to a lot of people I know who were in support of Brexit. Now that they really understand the ramifications of Brexit, I ask a lot of the people and they're like, and it's because of press manipulation with stories like this, which massages your emotion and have you jumping and screaming and wanting to crucify every migrant who comes. If somebody comes as a student, they come as a contributor to the economy. They pay a lot of money to the economy whilst they are studying. They get skills that eventually the economy needs. And if there is a location in the economy for them, and they are able to find a job and they have satisfied all the things that the border agency requires for them to be, why can they not live in peace for once? What have these international students actually done that's criminal? Explain it to me. That they want to go and live in another place, that's criminal. Huh? They only get the degrees because that's how they will stay. Duh. Is that news? I don't know. Now let's come to the other side with my people here. Yeah, come on. I know the internet is amazing, and I know Japan is something a lot of people want to do. And I know people want to grow their channels, but hey, when the BBC calls you, receive sense. Realize that you are little fish playing with big whales. Not a sensible game. Not a sensible game. And yes, whilst you are on these platforms teaching people how to do this the legitimate way, I doff my hat off to you. But I beg also watch this game of ours. We talk plenty, too much unnecessary things. I was reading this thing with Namdi, and they probably go elsewhere. But if they really need an Oxford degree, they will still come. That's where we are at. Why do you need Oxford degree? Hey, MIT in the US still exists. Go there. Which one? UCLA, the all day US. Go. Start looking for New Brunswick University and other places in Canada too, in places where they want you, your cats, and your dogs to come. Go look for them. Yeah, I think we need an episode of boycotting some of these institutions for just 2 years. We just need to discipline ourselves and boycott for 2 years, only 2 years, so we can allow the economic impact of this decision to land and to get reality to check so that we can settle some of this nonsense. Yeah. I remember when Brexit happened, actually, way before Brexit, it was the African illegal migrants who were doing this, the African migrants, And when all the routes were blocked for the African migrants, they began to see in the economy the need for the Africans. So now we are busy recruiting African teachers aggressively to the kingdom. Sometimes you have to let some of these pathways also block so that the economic impact can be felt, so that decisions can be made logically, not on emotion. At the moment, they are even inviting care workers to come, healthcare workers, not even qualified nurses. Healthcare, you need healthcare support assistants. Yeah. These roles were being satisfied by the people at a point who were not needed, and they were stopped from coming. And when these people were no longer available, the services were not being delivered. We are now opening the pathway for more people to come. Sometimes I laugh about the conservatives and all the things they said about migration, all the things that they accused Labour of in terms of migration, and then you look at the reality on the ground and how they want to navigate it and explain it differently. Look, people need workers in economies. They do. Make sure you are one of the people who is needed in the economy at all times. Add value, skill yourself up, so that regardless of, they will never block immigration for consultant physicians. No. Specialist neurologists will always get a way into most countries. Leading researchers in particular areas will always be welcome in places. Highly technical, skilled people are always needed. Make sure you become one of them. And if the United Kingdom will not let you use their institutions to get that master's degree, go to China, go to Croatia. People were telling me of places in Eastern Europe where they are even offering medical school on scholarships. Start looking for some of these things. Those of you who are busy doing Japa, these are the things you should be talking about. Japa, teach people the institutions which will give you options. Teach people the other places that you can go to. Tell your brothers and sisters, the United Kingdom not letting you bring your dependents, it's not the end of the world. In fact, it's not even a significant piece of news, because there are many other countries, many institutions that offer you a choice and will allow you to actually get better value for your money. We need to start thinking about it. We have always gone to the UK. Doesn't mean it's the only place to go. We should look for other places. So, the Japa channels, I commission a new job for you. Start looking for alternative places for people to go to. Explain all the ways in which people can go to these places. Tell people that if the United Kingdom does not want them to bring their families and they insist on having their family members with them, it's not the end of the world. They can find other places to go to. Yes, and sometimes some of us need to realize the money actually is in our pocket. We should be the powerful people in this conversation. Unfortunately, we don't know that, and so we don't behave as such. Yeah. What is there to cry? If you can command £29,000 a year to pay for a master's degree, baby, you will find almost anywhere, won't you? You will find absolutely anywhere. So, Emdee Tiamiyu begs you. It was just youthful exuberance. Eh? Emdee Tiamiyu, as much as his mouth needs to be reined in, really is not the reason why this conversation is even in the space. No, the agenda is bigger than Emdee Tiamiyu. The Japa channels on Facebook are not why the UK has decided to do this. Yeah, it is not them. If you have anybody to take on, go to the BBC and go and find the conservatives in England and fight them if you think you have muscle. Leave Emdee Tiamiyu alone. I'm sure I'm saying the name very wrong, but forgive me. Leave him alone. Yeah, he's excited. He's come to discover, and it happens to anybody who comes to these places for the first time. You want to be on their side. You want them to see you are for them. You want them to, yeah, he just got caught. Forgive him now. Eh? Exuberance is something we can forgive easily. Forgive him. And then let's focus on the important things. You want to Japan. You have options now to consider. Those of you creating the channels, I beg you, also make sure that the information you put out is accurate. Okay? It's even better you teach people how to do their own research rather than find wrong information to give them. I beg. And please, if you are going to come on this journey, make sure that you are coming legit, because all I promote for you will monitor you. Don't come and mess up, and don't come and mess this for those who want to use this legitimately for their progress agenda. So you ask me, you must talk about Emdee Tiamiyu. I have talked about Emdee Tiamiyu. Have you heard me? To me, in my experience, this is much bigger than Emdee Tiamiyu. The agenda is not him. The policy will never be changed because of one Nigerian YouTuber. Please know that. The law is changing because they have been working to change the law for more than 5 years, close to a decade, typically. That's why the law is changing. The law changing and us changing is also something we need to start discussing. Maybe we need to change our behaviors about the places we choose to study for the next 2 years while they are testing their law. They need to discover some things about this law and its impact on the economy. And they are very smart people. I trust my people. They certainly will realize that it doesn't help the economy. The universities will start petitioning them. They will know because it's happened before with student visas. They will know. The universities will start petitioning them. The enrollment numbers will drop. The money will decline. They will not be able to use the international fees to sustain the home students and so on. And very soon they will rescind the decision or change a few things around, whatever. In the meantime, take your money where the money works for you. Yeah. And if you have to stay in Nigeria or Ghana or Timbuktu, it's also not a death sentence, is it? These same places that we also criticize and whatnot are the same places that I said a lot of British expats live. If you knew how many British expats live in Accra, you would be shocked. And a lot of them have lived there for years and have no plans of going anywhere. Life is amazing for them. What you need is to make sure that you carry the naira over pour out the soccer bill only a chocolate. Only the cash. Spending the cash. That's the key thing. Anyway, I don't want this to be too long. I expect that I will read your comments and probably need to do a follow-up on this one. So this is what I think for now. We'll continue this conversation. Okay. So this was the Emdee Tiamiyu video I recorded this weekend. You've now seen it. I want to hear it. Yeah, these are my thoughts. I think all of you who know me and have known me for more than a minute, you know that my views are always going to be divergent, right? Hopefully, this is what you were expecting. If this was not what you were expecting, then you didn't know me. Some of you knew me and you knew that I was going to go there. So I've gone there. I wanted to throw this in the mix and invite us all to talk, to discuss this, and to move forward as a group of people. So now that you've seen this, do let me know your thoughts. Let me know your reactions in the comment section. I'm going to sit there for a minute. I'm going to watch what you say, and tomorrow we will discuss this properly. Share this, tag everybody, and let's continue the dialogue in the chats. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.